Now listen, before we jump into using this palette, I just want to say when I saw it like with my own eyes and like I opened it up, I was shook. Like literally was like, ah! When I saw it, I was just so excited. And that is the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Pro Pigment Volume 1. And oh my gosh, that was a complete mouthful of a title, but it is definitely worth it. I mean, like, seriously, like, look at this packaging. Like, it is insane. It is definitely so different than any other Anastasia palette that I have. It's this beautiful, like, weighted, acrylic, glossy packaged palette. It's super weighted and very beautiful. But truly what matters, though, is the color story. Like, when you see it, you are gonna die. Like, I just thought it was so pretty. And that color story looks like this. I mean, like, look at how gorgeous it is. I'm hiding the mirror, but it actually is as big as the palette, and it's a really nice mirror. But I mean, like, those colors are just so stunning. You get so many purples, you get a lot of primaries. Just literally, there are so many different possibilities with this palette, so I'm really excited to use it with you guys today. Now, before we jump any further into the video, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and gave this video a like. And also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And then for eyeshadow primer today, we are going to be using none other than the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer, literally my obsession. And I'm just going to take a pea-sized amount on the back of my hand and then apply it to the lid using this fluffy shader brush from Luxie Beauty. Something that I think is just really unique and really special about this palette, though, is how the shades are named. You know, you're not seeing like shades named like Hot Fudge or like Milk Chocolate or like Warm Brown or like Orange Soda. You know, you're not seeing like those types of names. However, it's kind of more set up like a bingo table, which I think is just really cool for a pro palette. So how it goes is like A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, and so on and so forth. And girl, if I did that any longer, I would struggle. But I think it's just really cool for like a pro palette, just because sometimes when you have like shade names, it just gets a little overwhelming, which I just think is so cool that they did this instead. However, the shade that we are going to be going in with right now is this beautiful like deeper blue shade right here called D4. And then using this Luxie 229 tapered blending brush, I'm just going to be applying this right directly into my crease. And then I'm just going to do little circular motions to blend that upwards towards my brow, as well as round out my outer V and inner third of my eye. And I'm just going to go in with a second layer because this blue is kind of giving me a little bit of patchiness. But sometimes blues just need like that second layer because blues are very tricky shades to use. And then again, I'm just going to be doing little circular motions to blend that upwards towards my brow. So off camera, when I was working with this blue shade and really like building it up and like trying to blend it out, I did notice it was giving me a little bit of a harsh line. I'll show you guys what I mean, but I don't know if you can see it. It's right here. And it is very tricky to blend out, but I'm going to show you guys like how I'm trying to do it. And what I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit more blue on that Luxie brush that we just used and going right over that harsh line, just to try to kind of like smooth it out a little bit. And as you can see, it just doesn't want to budge. But if you look at it, like the pigmentation is really beautiful, especially when you really build it up. I really love this like deeper blue. I think it's very rich in pigment. However, it isn't like the easiest shade to blend out, so I just want to warn you in case you do use it. So off camera, when I was doing the other side of my eye, I was really like experimenting, just trying to figure out like how to get the best color payoff with the shadow, as well as get it really nice and blended out. And what you do is you kind of like put your brush down where you are looking to apply the color and do really tiny little circular motions. And then this will push in the color as well as blend out the edges really nice, and you won't get any harsh lines. As you can see on this side of my eye, I don't have any, whereas on this side, I still have a little bit right in here. So that is definitely like my recommended way of applying the shadow, and it will not give you any harsh lines if you do it that way. So I just was going to hold up the palette to show you guys the next color that we are going to use, and then I noticed something so cool with the packaging and I just had to share it with you. And originally I thought it was one of those palettes that just opened like this far. You know, you can put it on the desk and it kind of just keeps open, which is really nice. However, I accidentally put my finger under like this kind of like ridge, and apparently it opens all the way, which is really cool, and I just wanted to show you guys that. However, after you have the blue applied, the next shade that we are going to be going in with is this beautiful purple shade right here called B4. And then using this little Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, I'm just going to be applying this directly into my crease, rounding out my outer V, as well as rounding out the inner third of my eye. Since we are going to be doing a halo eye today, I did one the other day and oh my gosh, like seriously, it was so beautiful and I have been obsessed with it ever since. Okay, but seriously, can we just take a moment to appreciate these shadows? Like, I cannot get enough of them. Like, look at how pigmented that is. Like, literally, I am just so shook, so beyond over the moon, and literally, like, the whole 9 yards. Like, look at that. It is just so stunning. And I will say, though, these shadows are insanely pigmented. Like, it is crazy. I will say, though, in the beginning, the blue did give me a little bit of patchiness. However, after I figured out the learning curve, it has been a breeze. So what you do is you just take your brush and you push it into your skin and then do a little circular motion, like buffing motion, and this will help kind of build up that color as well as blend it out. And once you do that, these shadows are literally a dream. I don't know, I think it's just so beautiful. And also this morning when I was trying to figure out like what kind of look I was going to do, I noticed so many people have been doing like purple smoky eyes and like sunset smoky eyes, and I was like, girl, I want to do something different. So I decided to use that really beautiful blue shade, and I'm so excited that I did it because I think it's just so beautiful. Like, look at that shade with the purple. I think it is just so stunning. But with that though, off camera, I'm just going to cut my crease using that Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer that we used earlier. However, instead of doing a normal traditional cut crease, I'm going to be doing a halo style. So once you have your framework applied for the halo cut crease, the next shade that we are going to be going in with is one that I'm really curious about, and that is called A1. It is a beautiful kind of like lavender baby pink shimmery shade. Now I will say from just dipping my brush into the pan, it doesn't feel like a standard Anastasia Beverly Hills shimmer shade, because like the standard ones to me are a little bit more like a gel-like consistency to them, whereas this one doesn't have that. It's a little bit more buttery and a little bit more silky to the touch. It's a really cool formula, so I cannot wait to use it. And using this Dampen Luxie 245 small shader brush, I'm just really packing this onto the base anywhere that it is showing. I will say this shade is really cute, but I expected it to be a little bit more sparkly, so I'm going to go in with my finger real quick. I'm just going to pack it right on top. Oh yeah, definitely use your finger. It definitely gives you a little bit more like extra pizzazz and a little extra something something. And after you have the shimmer applied, the next shade that we are going to be going in with is another one that I'm really curious about, and that is this beautiful like neon pink shade in the palette called A5. And then with this pink, I'm just going to be packing it on this harsh line between the darker purple and the shimmer that we have in the center of our eye. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you only keep it on this line, because otherwise you're going to lose like the center kind of like lightness, and we really want to keep that. So you just want to be extra careful with it. And then once you have it done in the outer third of the eye, we're going to be doing the exact same thing in the inner third. And again, I'm just packing it on that harsh line just to blend the two colors together. And then I'm just going to go back in with that purple that we used earlier and start packing it on right next to the pink, just to start blending everything together. And we will have to go in with a little bit more of the pink just to blend the two colors together, but this will help us get like a really nice seamless blend. And then I'm just going to go back in with whatever is left on that Real Techniques little shader brush and start lightly dusting in the pink into the purple. And I'm just doing like a little tapping motion to blend the two colors together. Just keeping it real, I did go a little too ham with the hot pink, but now we are just going to go back in with a little bit more of that A1 shade on that brush that we used earlier. And I'm just going to do a line right in the center of my eye. And then I'm just going to do a little tapping motion to blend it into the pink, just to bring a little bit more brightness to the look. So here's where I'm at right now with the look, and seriously, I'm having so much fun with this palette right now. I don't know if it's like the halo cut crease situation that we're doing, which is a whole new eye shape for me. Seriously, I'm having so much fun with that. Or if it's like the colors that we use, because bitch, I love a good galaxy smoky eye. I don't know about you guys, but this look is totally giving me that vibe. But man, like I just literally cannot stop looking at myself in my viewfinder and being like, girl, this palette is so cool. But with that though, off camera, I'm just going to clean up some of this fallout as well as apply like my foundation, my concealer, and all of that. So here's where I'm at right now with the look after applying my complexion products as well as some lips and some lashes, and I am obsessed. Seriously, I could wear this look every single day. I love it that much. I don't know if it's like the glam of it or if it's like the sexiness of it, but either way though, I am shook. But now we are going to start working on the lower lash line just to get some balance with this look so it's not so top heavy on the eye. And the shade that we are going to be going in with is one that we used earlier, and that is this beautiful deep blue right here. And then using my Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush, I'm just going to be smoking this underneath the lower lash line. And when you're doing this, you want to do like a back and forth motion. But also you want to be very, very careful because this blue is very pigmented and you don't want to bring it down too far, otherwise it's going to make your eyes look a little too small. So you just want to be very careful when you're applying it. But like that color though, she's just so pretty. It is like the most beautiful like cobalt blue color. So as you have the lower lash line all like smoked out and sultry, we are now going to do my absolute favorite part, which is the inner corner highlight. And the shade that we are going to be going in with today is another one that we used earlier, and that is A1. And then using a dampened Luxie 217 pencil brush, I'm just going to be packing the shit out of this into my inner corner, as well as underneath the inner tear duct area to open up the eye. Ooh, that's really pretty. I really love that it has like that like light lavender pink undertone. I feel like it just really works well in the inner corner. Dang, that's so pretty. I'm so excited about this look, like seriously, it's probably one of my all-time favorite looks I have ever done. I also want to mention off camera, I did add a little bit of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Highlighter in the shade Snowflake in this inner tear duct area of my eye. I only added it right where the eye points just to really like open it, and it definitely gave me like that like extra something something that I was looking for. But yeah, so here is the finished look using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Pro Pigment Palette Volume 1. And seriously, I've had to say that at least 15 to 20 times. It is so embarrassing. For some odd reason, the name of this palette is such a tongue twister for me. But seriously, I have had so much fun creating this look with you guys today. I just really had so much fun using this palette. I don't know if it's like the color story or like the formula of the eyeshadows, but seriously, like this whole like galaxy situation that we have going on is so cool, and I'm literally obsessed with it. But with that said though, I do want to give you guys my thoughts and opinions about this palette. So first things first, we are going to be going over the packaging because your girl is a packaging whore. Like seriously, packaging can definitely sell me on a product. I don't know about you guys, but it's just like one of those things for me. But this palette is just so cool and just so unique for Anastasia. Like I've never seen them launch anything like it before. Like the palette itself, oh my gosh. Like it is this beautiful, like luxury feeling, like thicker plastic palette. It feels really nice and it has like that cool like lacquer look to it. And it also has this beautiful like gold detailing. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. And what's really nice about this palette too is that it's kind of like on the bigger side, so you get like a lot of shadows in here, but it's not like super big where you wouldn't want to take it anywhere. And as you can see too, like the thickness of it isn't like that bad either where I wouldn't want to throw it in my bag. Because sometimes palettes, they're just like way too thick and they're just too bulky where I don't want to travel with them, but I would definitely actually travel with this one. But what really caught my attention about this palette though was the mirror in here. Like seriously, it is such a game changer. Like companies need to take note because this is so cool. But like the mirror in here is like literally the size of the palette, and it's one of those really nice clear mirrors. You could do your hair in it too because of the size of the palette. It's a really nice mirror, honestly. But what's really cool about it and like the game changer part is that you can do it at different angles. Like I don't know if you can see it, but you have it like right here. You can put it all the way up, and then if you kind of like push it down, you can also like unlock the hinge a little bit, and then you can have it flat on a desk. So if you're like doing this in like a hotel room, you could use it as a mirror, or if you're just having it like on your countertop, you could just have it flat like this, which is really nice and super handy. So even though the packaging of this palette is so cool and so unique, let's be honest, the most important thing is definitely the eyeshadow formula itself. And I will say the shadows in here are so crazy pigmented, like seriously, it is amazing. But I will say they do have a learning curve when you do apply them, especially this deeper blue shade that we used originally. Like girl, when I first originally applied it, it was so patchy and I was like, I don't really like it. And then I realized that I just need to try out a different technique, and what I found out that really worked well for me was taking my brush, putting down the pigment onto the skin, and doing little circular buffing motions to really build up that color and blend it out. And once I did that, it applied so much better. It gave me no patchiness, no streakiness, and it literally applied like it did in the pan. So I definitely recommend doing that like technique if you are going to be using that shade or any of the other mattes in this palette. And the shimmer that we used today, this A1, I was actually really impressed with it because it wasn't like a super glittery, sparkly type of shimmer. It was a really beautiful kind of like sheen, and I thought it was just so gorgeous on the eye. I will say it doesn't have like the traditional like Anastasia Beverly Hills shimmer kind of like formula. It doesn't crumble at all, and it doesn't have like that gel-like consistency. It's like its own new formula, which is really cool. I definitely like it, but I wish it was honestly a little bit more glittery just because I like that like extra pizzazz with my shimmers, but it still is really beautiful on the eye. So when it comes down to it, would I recommend this palette to you guys? And honestly, I had a lot of fun with this palette today, and I really enjoyed the look that we created. Like seriously, I cannot wait to use it again. I will say if you are looking for a really unique color story, or if you are looking for a really unique palette, I would highly recommend checking this one out. I thought it was just so cool and so unique. Though I will say it definitely takes a specific kind of person to really appreciate this kind of color story. It is definitely not for everybody by no means. It is like one of those kind of palettes that just has a little bit more of like a unique kind of twist to it. But either way though, I would definitely recommend checking it out if you are interested in it. I know I'm gonna get a couple of questions from you guys asking me to compare the Mini Breaker palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics to this one, and I gotta say, I definitely prefer the Norvina palette. I know I didn't use similar shades today, but if we're just going off the formula, I definitely recommend this one over that. I just feel like the formula is just a lot more buttery, a little bit richer in pigment, and overall just a little bit easier to use, especially the purple, because the purples in the Mini Breaker palette are definitely not my favorite. And I don't know, I just really had a great experience with it, and I cannot wait to use it again. Though there is definitely a price difference between the two. The Mini Breaker palette, I believe, is $28 if you don't get it in a bundle, and the Norvina palette is $60, and again, there is 25 eyeshadows. So there is definitely like a difference between the two palettes. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know if you are going to be picking up this palette. And as always though, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and gave this video a like, and also if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!